Hello and welcome to another week of Beat the Odds. As you guys get ready for your Thanksgiving feast, we are serving up some dishes too, including our betting turkeys of the season. Beat the Odds starts right now.
From our Las Vegas studios, this is Beat the Odds, sponsored by Superbook Westgate Las Vegas.
Well, happy Thanksgiving week, everyone, and welcome inside our cozy Las Vegas studio along with our new friend. I'm your host, Dave Hall. I love this week. Food, football, family, and stretchy pants. Got to get those pants, right? But before eating your body weight in pumpkin pie, let's feast on some football games this weekend. Coming up on today's show, Jack and Teddy will have their betting turkeys and also teams they're thankful for. Brandon Marshall will tell us which team is cooked and not in the good way. Plus, Mariah, what do you have for us?
Hey, Dave. Yeah, stretchy pants are key to surviving Thanksgiving, but I'm taking a look at the Thanksgiving Day game slate that we are just so thankful for, and I'm breaking down said games in terms of your Thanksgiving guests. It should be pretty interesting.
All right, let's have some fun today. Good to have you guys back. Jack, back from Germany. We're a little surprised you made it through security, but congratulations, back in the country.
Just barely. You know, it was all good. My hair started turning gray, so my wife decided to dye it. And the words were in German. Now I look a little bit like a fat Burt Reynolds. So I'm not, it's not perfect, but just, everything else very, very good over there.
Grow out the mustache and it's spot on.
Where's Lonnie Anderson when I need her, I guess, right?
All right, well, let's start. That's the theme this week. We're going to have a little Thanksgiving fun, and you guys have some turkeys on the season.
Right, yeah, it's always nice to look where we've been and where we're going, try to get out in front of things, but identifying some of the problems early on that we can take advantage of are key. And one of the biggest wallet stuffers I've seen this year has been under with the Indy team. You know, Jeff Saturday did a really good job this last week, but let's not expect more of that. This team's gone under 13 of the last 15 games, and they have really been a good wallet stuffer. The actual turkey, I think, of the league has been Russell Wilson, though. I mean, this guy has been so bad, underperforming weekly, and a Denver team that's been really, really good. I mean, they
on defense, their defense is amazing.
Averaging 14 points a game. You realize with Denver, if they had just scored 18 points in every single game, they'd be 8-1 right now. So we normally don't say it's your fault. It's his fault. I mean, it's the offense's fault right now. 18 points to get you 8-1. This is a pretty good Denver team with a really bad offense.
Yeah, Las Vegas and Denver play each other. This first team to 10 wins that game,
More
perhaps?
to come later on that game, right?
All I know is that I'm taking the under on the number of Burt Reynolds look-alike contests.
I'm not going to win many of those?
I'm taking the under. But certainly when it comes to turkeys, I do want to talk about turkeys. There are a handful of turkeys that we need to be aware of. Let's start with the big, fat, ugly turkeys. Turkeys that I do not expect to make anything out of the back half of their season. Well, that would be Sean McVay's LA squad, New Orleans, and Las Vegas. Three teams that have all had rough seasons, that you don't see any light on the horizon for those squads. But then you have your turkeys with the potential to be pardoned. Teams that have done poorly over the first half of the campaign, that have some ATS, some point spread potential down the stretch. And I put a handful of teams in here. Indy, Jacksonville, Denver, Tampa. All teams that have solid defenses that have been on the wrong end of a bunch of one-score decisions. Any one of those teams has point spread potential down the stretch. And last but not least, we need a turkey from last week, because when Buffalo has a 99.9% win expectancy and can't get the ball out of the end zone to take a kneel down, ooh, that was a turkey for Bills backers and for Buffalo money line.
Tom Brady 2-0 since his divorce went final, both straight up and against the spread.
So there's hope.
We're heading the right way, right?
All right, we're just getting started with Teddy and Burt Reynolds. We'll get back with these two. All right, my favorite kind of stuffing is stuffing money into my wallet after winning some bets. Mariah is at the Superbook Westgate Las Vegas to help us do that.
Thanks, Dave. I'm here with Jay Cornegay, EVP of Superbook Operations here at the Westgate. Now, Jay, I want to talk to you about the Super Contest. It's one of the greatest pro football handicapping challenges out there that you offer here at the Superbook. How's that going so far mid-season?
Yeah, it's really tightly contested this year. We have 4 contestants tied up on top of the standings at 35.5 points. That's hitting 71% right now. So that they're doing excellent considering what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good so far. This season's been insane. Now, we are heading into Thanksgiving week, so I would love to know, as a Superbook, What are you guys most thankful for?
Well, off the top of my head, you got to be thankful for all the other jurisdictions opening up to sports gaming and to operate Superbook Sports and to show everybody what our product is all about. Got to be thankful for that.
Good answer. So looking ahead to the Thursday slate of games, we've got 3 games on Thanksgiving Day. Which one is the most enticing to you from a betting perspective?
Well, I love Thanksgiving games. You know, with this year we have Buffalo at Detroit, New York at Dallas, and New England at Minnesota. But that middle contest between New York and Dallas, I think, is very intriguing. You got a rivalry there, and you got 2 teams that are performing very well. One team that was expected to be there, the other team is a surprise, you know, at this point. So I think that's the most intriguing matchup for Turkey Day.
All right, Jay, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Dave, we'll send it back to you in studio.
All right, thanks, Mariah. The biggest no-no of Thanksgiving, do not burn the bird. Brandon Marshall says one team is cooked, burnt, needs to be tossed out. Plus, in this season of Thanks, Jack is back with some teams that you'll be thankful for.
Beat the Odds is sponsored by Superbook Westgate Las Vegas.
As we head to break, sticking with our holiday theme, here's a question for you. Which game was dubbed the Thanksgiving Day Massacre? The answer, Green Bay versus Detroit in 1962 on Thanksgiving Day. Detroit sacked Hall of Fame QB Bart Starr 11 times on the way to beating the previously undefeated Green Bay squad. It led the media to nicknaming the game
the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Legendary. Vegas. Fun. Enjoy Westgate's classic gaming and entertainment. Savor fine dining. And experience the world's largest sportsbook, Westgate Superbook. It's all at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
You love our show. Now you can get even more from BeatTheOddsTV.com. Betting lines, trends, and analysis of the big games.
The difference between a bad beat and a big win.
BeatTheOddsTV.com.
Welcome back to Beat the Odds from inside our Las Vegas studio. John Madden started the tradition of awarding the turkey leg to the Thanksgiving Day game MVP in 1989. Who has the most turkey leg wins? The answer, Emmitt Smith. Smith holds the record for most yards gained on Thanksgiving with 1,178 and most rushing touchdowns with 13. And the video shows that Emmitt hasn't lost a step on Thanksgiving. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, check out Emmitt. Now, for those of you who don't want to cook, come to Vegas. We have some of the best restaurants and buffets in the world. And yes, they're open on Thanksgiving. Scan that QR code on your TV screen right there. It will take you to our website, BeatTheOddsTV.com. All right, we're back with Brandon Marshall. Now, the big guy joining us from his hotel lobby in Athens, Georgia. We miss you here in Vegas, Brandon, but thanks for taking the time there as you're on a work trip, clearly.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. And I want to, say that I love your turtleneck and blazer combo. It's fantastic.
Wow. And the elbow patches. I feel so grown up. Thank you, Brandon. Yeah. High compliments coming from him. All right, so let's keep with the Thanksgiving theme. You have a team that you say is cooked, burnt, done. Who is that team?
Oh, it's Las Vegas. Those guys are cooked. It's over for those guys. They lost to Jeff Saturday, who's a first-time head coach, no experience in the collegiate or the pros, coached high school, came off the couch and came into Las Vegas and beat that team. I can't believe it. You have Derek Carr on the podium crying mad. Max Crosby is apologizing on Twitter. The season's over. And I think they got to start looking toward 2023. It's very ugly. Those guys are cooked.
Yeah, it's been a rough few days here in Las Vegas. Certainly know that. All right, we all love a good stuffing. What is your pro football team that is good at say, stuffing the run game? Who would you pick for that?
Yeah, I got to go with San Francisco. Those guys are, their D-line is stout. The linebackers are great. The safeties come in and they fill the gap. So, San Francisco has the top defense in in the league right now, and the top run defense in the league right now. So those guys are playing fantastic. They're going to give Jimmy G a chance to make a run.
All right, and let's get you out of here with this one. We are very thankful to have you on this show. What is something that you're thankful for in pro football right now?
Well, I'm thankful that Philadelphia lost, okay? Because all the hype about, going 17-0 and undefeated, when are they going to lose? They put their schedule up, the remainder of their schedule saying, when are these guys going to lose? I'm glad they lost. So now they can focus, right? They can build a little character, they'll become battle tested, and they can focus on, just getting better week in and week out and not worrying about any of the hype.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Brandon Marshall. We appreciate you calling in from a hotel in Athens, Georgia. That's how dedicated this man is. All right, Brandon, safe travels, my friend. All right. We are also, of course, very thankful for Jack. I mean, smart, funny, very handsome. Did Jack sneak that into the script? Anyway, here's the big guy.
Yeah, with Thanksgiving week here, I think I'm pretty handsome. But yeah, that's me.
Burt Reynolds.
And my mother. Exactly. That's I got two. My wife can take it either way. I like to identify why we're here. If you've been playing to this point and you're going to your family's house, you might be down, and always remember that it's not the gambling that your wife hates, it's the losing that she hates. Right. And so let's identify why we're here and try to do better going forward. Teams like Kansas City, Las Vegas, and Green Bay, those are teams that are the marquee of you want to bet on because it's easy to bet on them, but they've really led you astray to this point. A couple of those teams, though, going forward, I think we'll be able to make some money. Teams like Kansas City, they're the toughest schedule in the league to start the year. It gets much, much easier going forward.
So by disappointing, you mean they're winning, obviously. They're just not covering the spread.
They're winning and not covering. Green Bay's not winning or covering, with the exception of last week. And Las Vegas, we don't even talk about them. We know where they are, and we have more coming in the show. So, but going forward, we can identify some turns in some of these teams. Kansas City, for sure, they're looking the right way. Tampa Bay, I mentioned Tom Brady, 2-0 against the spread and straight up since his divorce was final. A lot of times that's a good thing.
Yeah, clear your head a little bit, maybe.
Exactly. And teams like New England, Belichick is going to be Belichick. He tough start to the quarterback room with that team, but they still have been kind of scratching out some wins. And if you looked at them before the bye week, they're getting it together, so look for them to cover a few more times going forward. We've talked a lot on the show about teams kind of hitting the reset button. As a gambler, is this kind of a good time as well to hit the gambling reset button? I think it actually is. We talked last week and gave me bad grades on some certain things and good grades. That was kind of our midpoint. This is more the week for me. It really, when you start eating, when you get an intake of tryptophan to the point that you want to take it, that's when you're resetting. When you're having to listen to your loudmouth brother-in-law or you're in all that, that's when you're resetting. So going forward, you want to go ahead and take it and do better going forward. We need a camera at Jack's Thanksgiving table. Thank you, sir. All right, mac and cheese, tater and gravy. Many say the best part of Turkey Day are all the sides. Teddy has some teams that perfectly symbolize some of them. Plus, Mariah will get us ready for Thanksgiving Day football and compare the games to family members like Jack who might show up. We've got another factoid question for you. Justin Jefferson now has 20 games with 100-plus receiving yards, the most by any player in his first 3 seasons in the league. Who did he pass? The answer, Odell Beckham Jr. and Randy Moss. We've got to shout out Justin Jefferson. He made the catch of the year last Sunday.
The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Legendary. Vegas. Fun. Enjoy Westgate's classic gaming and entertainment. Savor fine dining. And experience the world's largest sportsbook, Westgate Superbook. It's all at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino.
Welcome back. Did you know New York's Lawrence Taylor had what many consider the greatest individual defensive performance ever against Detroit on Thanksgiving in 1982? Probably not. I mean, I wasn't even alive for it, but after sitting out the first half with a knee injury, Taylor took over in the second. He notched a sack, a forced fumble, and a 97-yard pick six. The G-men beat Detroit 13-6 in what many describe as the greatest individual defensive performance the league has ever seen. Yeah, imagine Lawrence Taylor smashing into you as hard as he can. That's why I wear makeup for a living, Teddy. All right, scan that QR code. It will take you to a magical world of betting knowledge. BeatTheOddsTV.com.
All right, here we go. We're back with Teddy. We all love those Thanksgiving sides. Teddy, do you have a favorite, a personal favorite?
I don't even like any, you know. I shouldn't say that. My sister-in-law makes this soup that's fantastic, like a squash soup.
That sounds good. Yeah. All right.
So
you're going to compare some sides with some football action.
Of course, it's Thanksgiving time. We have to compare sides with football action, and it goes like this. All right, Brandon nailed it. The stuffing team as San Francisco. They haven't allowed a point in the second half in either of their last two games. And we're talking about a top 3 defense that's allowed only 4.7 yards per play this season. San Fran, they're stuffing teams at the line of scrimmage. When it comes to the leftovers team, I think Tennessee fits perfectly in this role. Tennessee has 18 players on injured reserve right now. There were 5 starters missing on defense last week, and 3 more got hurt during the game. And all they're doing is winning games and covering point spreads. Tennessee's been remarkable with the leftovers.
Yeah, sneaky good. Both, right?
Yeah.
Sneaky good. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Cranberry sauce.
Oh,
the cranberry sauce.
You know
what's cranberry? It's a little flavor, it's a little color, it's a little excitement. How about Miami as the cranberry sauce team? They're 7-0 straight up when Tua starts and finishes a game. And of course, when we're talking about the Waddle and Hill receiver combination, is that Moss and Welker? Is that Bruce and Holt? It's truly elite. We can talk about this receiving core with the best in NFL history. And of course, mashed potatoes and gravy.
Now that's my favorite side.
We got to go there.
Taters and gravy.
You know, which team is bulky on the line of scrimmage? Which team can pound opponents? And that's Baltimore for me. A squad. Again, this team is 3 blown double-digit leads away from being undefeated right now. And when you look at them running the football, 5.5 yards per carry. They're pounding teams at the line of scrimmage.
All right, thanks, Teddy. Well, food, family, football, of course, a Thanksgiving tradition, and sometimes the games can remind us of our family, both good and bad. Mariah explains for us.
When we think about Thanksgiving, our brains automatically go to the food. Well, at least mine does. But it also has me mentally preparing for the relatives I'll be spending the day with, both the good and the borderline tolerable. Thankfully, we have 3 football games to help us get through the holiday. The day starts with Buffalo at Detroit. To me, this matchup is the socially awkward uncle you've known your whole life. You know what you're getting out of this guy. The conversation isn't going to be great, maybe even a little dry at times, but every now and then there will be some sparks of entertainment before the conversation goes south again. Then you've got an NFC matchup in New York versus Dallas, which is your sister-in-law that finally learned how to cook. Yay, good for her. Years past, she couldn't even make the mac and cheese right. Burnt, no flavor, just god awful. But she spent the fall surprising a lot of people with her recipes, finally figuring out what seasonings go together, and this year her mac and cheese has a lot of potential. And the day closes out with New England at Minnesota. This is the 35-year-old cousin that only comes around every few years. Peaked in high school, won't stop talking about the glory days. We all know that guy. Come on now. They went from being captain of the high school football team to selling car insurance, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. There's just simply nothing to brag about at this point, you know? So a lot of different personalities to work with throughout Thanksgiving Day. I hope you enjoy, and most importantly, I hope your bets hit. We can all use a little cash during the holidays, if you know what I mean.
All right, Mariah, thank you, from someone who also peaked in high school. Well, as always, we're going to finish big. Jack and Teddy will have their top picks, plus the wheel stirring up some trouble today. See why today's reveal could start a fight here in the studio.
As we had to break, did you know about the greatest Thanksgiving ever? In 1929, Arizona fullback Ernie Nevers set what many believe is the greatest Thanksgiving Day record ever. He scored all 40 points in a win over Chicago. Nevers scored 6 touchdowns and 4 extra points on that Thanksgiving Day. Now that is impressive, but if that's the greatest Thanksgiving ever, and that was almost 100 years ago, I think we as a society may have failed just a little bit.
coming at you from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world.
You love our show. Now you can get even more from BeatTheOddsTV.com. Betting lines, trends, and analysis of the big games.
The difference between a bad beat and a big win.
The interviews, the stories, plus a unique spin on sports history. Your ticket to in-depth content as seen on the show is all at BeatTheOddsTV.com. Check it out today.
All right, welcome back to Beat the Odds. We're going to finish the show. I guess this is our Thanksgiving table, our little gathering, guys.
Yeah, I mean, sitting down adds 30 pounds for me. I look like a Shar-Pei right now, so, I mean, I really prefer to stand.
But a handsome one.
It works for me.
You put us together, we're a couple of strapping dudes.
Teddy will take the 10 pounds the camera adds. All right, top pick time. Jack, get us started.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about Denver and Las Vegas, and it's a little like somebody asking you for turkey and you offering in the neck. I mean, this could be a rough game to watch. But from a money-making standpoint, I think we've got a couple of good plays here. Denver's been really good defensively, second in the league, only giving up 14 points a game. Las Vegas, 22 points a game on average. The last time these two teams played, they had 55 or so points, but their yards per game in that game was about on their season average. So it really was inflated. They executed in the red zone. I like under the total here. I think there's less execution in the red zone. We talked about some of the issues with both teams. Play under the total, I think, in this game between Denver and Las Vegas.
And Teddy, you're going to stay with that game with your top pick.
Oh, yeah. He likes the total. I like the side for this one for sure. Vegas, 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread on the highway. And you want to talk about a team where you're seeing concerning quotes out of the locker room? We've seen a bunch from Las Vegas the last 2 weeks. We heard Brandon Marshall talking about earlier. This is not a team I'm convinced has a switch that they can flip on. And, of course, when Denver can run, they can win. We know this offense has struggled all year, but Vegas allowed 6.9 yards per carry last week to a team without much of a passing game in Indy. And, of course, from a defensive standpoint, this game is an absolute mismatch. Denver, number 1 in the NFL in yards per play allowed. Vegas, number 30.
Denver's head coach said, at best, I think, he said somebody has to win this game.
Not necessarily. Could end in a tie. All right, let's finish up with the wheel of keeping it real. It's our 5 heads on a Vegas-style slot machine. I've been told today could be trouble. The wheel knows all, and whomever it lands on this week is the turkey of Beat the Odds. So let's spin that bad boy.
I'm definitely safe then.
Well, we're about to find out. And of course, Jack, of course it's Jack.
I thought I was the apple pie show.
You're our loving turkey, though. You add a lot of fun to this,
I'll take it. I'm a big butterball right now, so we'll be all right.
All right. Well, you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
You guys at home, thank you so much. We are thankful for all of you for watching this show. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you again next week right here on Beat the Odds.